Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Murder We Spoke, the podcast where we convene once per month or more, and now that we're wrapping things up, per month to systematically break down another spectacular episode of Murder, She Wrote that was lovingly recommended by you, our dear listeners. I'm Ben, and I'm not joined by Marissa, but we've upgraded, you guys. Don't worry about it. We've got it covered. I'm joined by Matt and Gillian of the All Things Cozy podcast. Hi, Matt. Hi, Gillian.
Hey,
Hi.
thanks for having us.
Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Of course.
These guys were nice enough to have us on their podcasts. Me and Mar. The episode is out now. If you haven't heard it, please go listen. It was super fun.
Yes, we talked about Murder, She Wrote on our All Things Cozy podcast, and it just made sense. You had to swap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So tell the folks what All Things. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a good title, but what do you guys talk about on your podcast?
Yeah, I mean, all things cozy. So we just talk about anything that we feel like is cozy. Yeah, books. Pretty much the structure of the show is we pick a brand new cozy topic each week. Typically, we check in what's making us feel cozy that week, our cozy celebrities. We review a candle each episode. So that's really exciting. So look forward to that if you listen to our podcast.
Yeah, trying to think what else we got. Cozy locations. So
Yes.
we talk about cozy spots around town that we particularly like, and pretty much anything that makes you feel nostalgic or
Just
good.
a lot of hot, cozy tips.
Yeah.
Hot cozy tip.
Hot cozy
exactly.
tips.
That's the
our new
tagline.
tagline.
Hot
Yes, I
cozy
know that's a
tips.
good idea. But we loved having you on. It was such a pleasure.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was a great podcast, and it's like the locations especially. I was like, I need to go to those places now.
Yeah.
And we
'Cause
really
it's
got the skinny on what was going on set on Murder, She Wrote, because
I
we had
know.
no idea
all this
that
insider info.
Angela Lansbury is feuding with the CBS. I'm going to say his name wrong. Les Moonves? Is that
I
how you
wonder
say
if-
it?
yeah.
Would he have been around back then? I don't think was he that high up back then?
That's
I
the
think
thing,
he was, right?
I'm wondering. He's been there forever. I wonder if
Yeah.
it was him.
It was him. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm gonna take your
Well,
word. I think it
anyway.
sounds-
Justice was served.
Yeah, he was a huge villain in the, in the
yeah.
CBS
Turns
verse.
out he was a Turns out if Angela Lansbury doesn't like you, you're probably a dick.
Yep. No, that's a good rule of thumb. I
I
like
think so.
that. Okay.
Sorry, I cut you off. You're talking about cozy locations.
Oh no, I was just saying that part was so much fun. Like you guys talked about, like there's like a writer's retreat or
Oh
something.
yeah, porches. Yes. Which,
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lovely little retreat in the James River, and that's just one example of a cozy location that we talk about. Also cafes. Matt goes to a lot of great cafes. So we also just don't cover LA area spots. We're all over.
Yeah, we try
All of
to
them.
think about places we've been in the past, usually Chicago or Baltimore.
Yeah, and which our listeners appreciate because they're all over the map. Maybe not a lot over the map. Maybe in like 1 or 2 states, but we'll pretend they're all over.
That's the thing, like that's what we do here. We do the same thing. Like people everywhere. listen to this.
Yeah, worldwide.
Okay, guys, we're here today to talk about season 6, episode 6, entitled "Dead Letter." And do you have any guesses on what? We haven't watched the episode yet. We're gonna break shortly to watch it. But do you have any guesses, based purely on the title alone, what this episode is about?
I have 2 guesses.
Okay, perfect.
But I don't want to steal anyone else's guess. So I'll do one, and then I'll let you guys have another one. If I don't say it, I'll bring it back up.
Okay.
So my guess is that the letter is full of anthrax.
Oh,
To
That
escalate.
it foretold terrorist attacks like that. Like
I was gonna say it's like this
Well, ahead of its
predicted.
time.
This
Yeah.
basically predicted 9/11 this episode.
And so somebody's sending anthrax-laced letters to somebody in Cabot Cove.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Okay. Maybe a mailman goes postal.
That's a good one.
I love that.
I feel like that
So-
is like very much of the time because this episode aired November 5th, 1989. I feel like going postal, like that was back then. That was a thing,
Yeah,
right?
you
Was
have-
that
yeah,
late
you-
80s and into the 90s was the going
Yeah,
postal.
you don't have many
Yeah.
people going postal these days. I don't want to jinx it. Tomorrow we have a massacre, like a postman.
Our
or something,
postal
but-
workers are now much calmer than they used to be. It's
for
great.
for whatever reason. Yeah, they've really gotten it together. God bless them. Okay, my guess. I'm gonna go super literal because a dead letter, and I don't even know why I know this. A dead letter is like an undeliverable piece of mail. So I'm gonna say
Oh.
like they found, like someone died, and as they were cleaning out their house, they found this letter that was undeliverable, and it like contains like, "I'm sorry, I murdered him," and it's like it's this murder, but it's like an unsigned confession. This is way too complicated, but that's why it's gonna work. That's why
yeah,
this is what.
It's so convoluted it could work.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I feel like that's gonna be it
Yeah.
Okay.
because you technically know what it is. So that's.
But again, it could be like, is it a punny one or is it just super specific, like dead letter, like, because with Murder She Wrote titles, you never know if they're just going to go super literal or like fun and punny with it. You never know which way they're going to go.
Well, now I have some. You're always with the trivia here, you know. Male trivia.
Yeah,
We got it all.
We know what happened on set on Murder She Wrote. Male trivia. I don't know why we're not the biggest podcast going right now. It's pretty ridiculous. Let's see. So to get into the mindset of this episode, we're going to run down the top 6. Oh, spoiler alert. Usually it's the top 3 songs, but the top 6 songs are such bangers. We're doing 6.
Oh, okay.
This is a hot week.
It's a very hot week. You guys came on a good week. Before we get to that, we're going to go over the top movies. They were not bangers, so we're only doing a top 3. The number 3 movie of this week in November 1989 is a little movie called Shocker.
Oh, haven't
Any
heard of
idea?
And this is not an adult film.
This is,
Sorry.
What?
no, this is not. These are not the triple
Sorry,
X
I
theaters.
had to, sorry. The All Things Cozy guys bringing up you know what the Shocker is. You know what? You have to cut this out.
Please explain it to
Gillian's
us.
leaving the apartment. I'm not explaining it to you.
He's
Look at
drawing a diagram, and it's pretty messed
you
up,
all,
guys.
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
That I'm making a lewd hand gesture.
Oh my
you guys!
God.
I think our listeners will know
I
it
haven't
is
seen this
2 in the pink, 1 in the state.
Oh no! See, I don't know why I'm sorry. I brought it up.
Yeah, new side.
I couldn't say it. I couldn't bring myself to say it.
I
had
feel
to
like
just
our
reference
listeners were yelling it at the things anyway. They knew exactly what you were talking
it. Anyways,
about.
so it's not about that.
No. What it's about, I will tell you, because usually me and Marissa we'd be like, Shocker? No, never heard of it. Okay, next one. But actually, it took 2 seconds to go on IMDb, so I can tell you exactly what this movie's about. After being sent to the electric chair, a serial killer uses electricity to come back from the dead and carry out his vengeance on the football player who turned him into the police.
Wow, speaking of convoluted.
Yeah, I feel like I saw this like on a Saturday afternoon on WGN or something.
The plot sounds familiar, to be honest.
It's very bizarre. This movie was written and directed by Wes Craven.
Okay.
So
Sounds about right.
Does he travel through? Is it a ghost that travels through electricity? Like
I've never seen it. I imagine it's like Electro from Spider-Man. That's the closest thing I can reckon is where he's traveling around.
And a football player
A
caused
football
his
player-
demise, or
A football player must have seen him commit his act and turned him into the police.
Okay, I
And
see.
so he's getting his
the
vengeance.
football player taught him how to do the shocker, and then
Oh God,
Yeah.
he got arrested.
Exactly.
You're wild to me.
The movie stars Mitch Pileggi, and Peter Berg. Peter Berg was the football player.
Never heard of him.
Just FYI.
That dastardly Peter Berg.
Okay, the number 2 movie of this week of 1989 was The Bear.
Again.
God.
This one, just bearded men ramping and romping. Ramping? Not a word.
Having a picnic.
Have you guys seen this
No.
movie? This one, my mom loved all those outdoorsy, animal-y movies. So we watched a million of those, even though they're geared to kids. My mom
This is like a
loved
Wilderness Family,
It is.
like Swiss Family Robinson.
This movie stars Yauk the Bear and Bart the Bear, directed by Jean-Jacques Annaud. And the story is an orphan bear cub hooks up with an adult male as they try to dodge human hunters.
An adult male.
Wait, tries to what with an adult male?
Hooks up with an adult male. No, yeah,
so
this
weird.
is
This
this
is
was
like
written.
I think you're looking at
older
the
friend.
sex movies
I
from that
may
year.
have gone to the wrong sites. I was on a work computer. I might be in trouble.
Wow.
But I watched this movie 1,000 times growing up because my mom loved it. It literally is like,
Here. Huh.
a bear gets orphaned and he just roaming around the mountainside with a other big bear, and it was like,
Adult male?
yeah. I remember my mom was dating this dude, and he liked the movie too, so we'd go over to his house and watch
It's a bonding
the
experience.
bear. Yeah, it was
Lots of memories for you.
Definitely haven't recounted this exact story to a therapist,
Yeah.
so it's okay. The number 1 movie of this week, one I'm sure we all know and love, Look Who's Talking, starring Kirstie Alley,
Aw.
Well, there's
John
a classic.
Travolta, and
Yeah.
the voice talent of Bruce Willis. Written and directed, I did
voice
not
talent.
know. The voice, yeah. That's what he was. Written and directed by Amy Heckerling. I had no idea that she wrote and directed this.
Well, that makes sense. That's what
There's
I
a
know.
classic.
Yeah.
That is. And for any of you who don't know what it is, I can't believe there's anybody that doesn't, but after a single career-minded woman is left on her own to give birth to the child of a married man, she finds a new romantic chance in a cab driver. Meanwhile, the point of view of the newborn boy is narrated through voiceover.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And that was, I feel like that was a technological achievement.
Because
at that
at
time.
the beginning of it, when they're showing
the sperm.
sperm.
Yeah.
That was like, that blew my mind.
Yeah,
Legit
me
blew my
too.
mind as a kid. I was like, that's probably where I learned how sex works.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Was from
yeah.
that movie.
I know, I can still see it in my head.
Gillian's crying, tears are rolling down her eyes, her cheeks. Not eyes.
I feel like I sound like a seal every time I laugh.
Okay, guys, we're going to seamlessly transition to the top songs of 1989. And as I said, we're going to do the top 6 because they were just some bangers. The number 1, so I don't blow out Gillian's ear. Gillian,
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah, the speaker is behind Gillian.
Yeah, so just so I don't blow out her ears, hopefully, I think.
I'm
but-
prepared.
So brace yourself.
I'm
brace
bracing.
yourself.
Wow.
This is, again, this is like I'm not smart. This is like one of my favorite songs of all time. I just think this is such a fun, good song.
Very iconic.
Love Shack by the B-52s.
There you go. Makes sense.
I just want to hear this. We're just going to listen to a little bit more of it. Just kind of,
Yeah.
just,
Here's your jam.
Get in the zeitgeist of 1989. This is what people were listening to. Driving down Sunset Boulevard, listening to the B-52s.
Yeah.
That's what people did in the 80s.
Yeah. I really like going back in time. It's fun.
Let's see. And then we'll listen to more of it as I search for the next song.
I'm already expecting a really funky episode of Murder, She Wrote now.
So this title is really long, so that's why I'm like having to type out a really
no.
long thing.
I'm imagining Angela Lansbury dancing to that song in my mind.
I'm not familiar with this yet.
It is already just like the funkiest top 6 songs that we've ever had on the
Yeah.
show.
Very lively. What is that?
This song, not surprisingly, is called "It's the Way That You Love Me"
I would have never guessed that.
by
No.
Paula Abdul.
Yeah, sound like a Paula.
Robbed of the Bratz soundtrack. Have you seen that video?
No, is she?
It was for her like short-lived reality series where there's like she has a breakdown because she loses the Bratz movie.
Like she was gonna do the soundtrack, or
Yeah.
she was gonna star in it.
I don't think she's gonna start. I think she's gonna do the music for it.
Well,
Either way,
what network was it on?
Oh, the reality show? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
on,
I'd like
the
to
clip's
see
on
it.
YouTube.
Okay, I'll just see it.
I feel like this has E written all over it.
It does.
Yeah,
I was
you're
about to say.
right.
Okay, just a little bit more of the chorus. I mean, it's not like the one where she's dancing around with the cat, whatever that one is.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's not up to that level, but this is still a good song. Okay.
It's something to jazzercise too.
And number 4, a very controversial band.
Controversial band, huh?
Let's see if it kicks in. I don't know. Some of these intros in the 80s were way too long.
So long. Yeah, she's like, ba-do, ba-do. Who's this?
This is Blame It on the Rain by Milli Vanilli.
Oh.
Oh.
Frauds.
That's right. They were this. I think this was actually the very year 1989. This is the very year
They got exposed.
we all learned what they were doing, and we were so upset about it.
You told her goodbye.
I'm pretty sure this is was it Columbia House? They would send like the cassette tapes, like you could get the first 9 were only a penny, and then you have to like buy like 5 a month for the rest of your life.
This always overwhelmed me. There were too many choices on that.
There was too
paper.
many. I definitely got the greatest hits of Milli Vanilli on one of those.
Really?
Oh, for
So
sure.
this is a memory for you.
I have nothing but pleasant memories of Milli Vanilli. You know what? I have a forgiving heart, and you know what? I'm willing to forgive and forget. Okay. It's like, is this really great singing? Did they really need to fake this? Is this really?
Yeah. I couldn't imagine even dancing to it. It seems kind of slow. It's like
Gillian, you were just
you'd be
dancing
shuffling.
to it.
Yeah.
But she wasn't enjoying herself. You could
I
tell.
was just bopping.
Okay, now we're gonna jump into the top 3 on these ones. Oh, are you ready to rock?
I can remember this from a movie.
I know, I'm imagining like a high school.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah.
All
They're
80s
like-
songs are geared for like high school opening.
It's a crane shot overview of a high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, it's the first day of school. Kids
Yep.
are walking. Yeah.
I love this song just because of that visual.
Yeah. Someone sees his crush. Or her crush.
Yeah, everything's perfect.
Yeah.
That's the yeah.
Before this person's world is turned upside down.
That's the yeah. We flash in on our main character, sees the girl he likes, and he falls into a bush.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
Can we just pause the podcast? Pause the podcast and just write this movie right now?
I think real quick, or we should do it on the podcast so that way, like, it's recorded, no one can steal our idea.
Yeah.
Because we're definitely not stealing other people's ideas right now. Okay, this song is called Cover Girl, and the artist is the New Kids on the Block.
Oh.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah, New Kids on the Block was before my time. I feel like they were my older cousin's jam,
Oh yeah, too old for.
and I didn't get it because I didn't get the appeal yet. You know?
No, yeah, my cousin Brandy had the New Kids on they had, like, their dolls, their version of, like, Barbie dolls. She had those, and I was, like, vaguely familiar. I was like, okay, with the, like, the Zumba pants and all that, like, 80s... Like, that 80s look that they all had, but I was like, beyond that, I was like, I couldn't pick a song out of a lineup.
I remember being at my aunt's house and like the New Kids music videos would come on, and I would just be like, "Can we go back to Care Bears?"
Yeah,
That's really where I was
Care
during
Bears.
this time.
Aw.
you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. Okay, number 2.
Oh, I know this.
Sing it, Gillian.
I feel like every song in.
So the band is still touring, by the way. They recently came through LA, and like by happen chance, I got to go see them, and it was
wow, that's
it
really
was
cool.
amazing.
That's awesome.
They put on a hell of a good
I
show.
didn't know they were touring.
They're like Norwegian or something like that. I can't remember.
I like this song.
For those that don't know yet, this is "Listen to Your Heart" by Roxette.
I love this song.
Yeah, it's a nice song.
I forgot who did it.
We all have our lighters lit. We're just
Yeah, I
kind
know.
of swaying gently.
I'm totally consumed by this song.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't really. You're kind of like helpless to its power.
It's I'm listening to my heart, and my heart wants to listen to this song.
Yes, correct. Yeah, this is the hard part where it's like, okay, we have to go on to the next one, but do we? Can we just stay here for a little bit? Okay, guys, this is the number 2 song, the number 1 song for the week of November 5th, 1989. Just another 80s banger. It's got one of those bad intros. You'll recognize it. I have faith.
Sometimes it seems like this world's come to an end on me, and there's no way of breaking free. And then I see you reach for me. Sometimes I wanna give up.
Okay, guys, let's get to it. Come on. This
Yeah.
intro is a little bit
I
long.
can't
Like,
figure
I
it out.
don't know.
this intro is too long. Yeah, they need to get to
We're just so
get
young.
to the
No, I feel like I'd have no patience in the 80s because I was like, where's this song gonna
Where's the
start?
hook?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't know.
You don't know that? Okay.
I don't know this either. I'm gonna
Wow.
stand in solidarity with my co-host.
I know, it's
This-
just like, I don't know.
I feel like even if you didn't know this song like back in the day or haven't heard it on the radio, if you see any like even 5 seconds of one of those collections of the 80s songs with all the songs
Yeah.
running by, like I feel like this plays heavily in those songs. This is "When I See You Smile" by Bad English.
to admit I hate
Yeah.
it.
Really?
Oh.
I don't, you know what? I feel like my grandma's shopping at JCPenney and I'm just waiting for this to be over. That's what the song is to
We're
me.
like we're at Kmart.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't take it. But I like the last, obviously.
Okay. Well, I feel like the 6 through 4 were better than 1, 2, and 3.
They must have peaked and they were kind of
And they were on their way back down.
on their way
Oh,
down.
that's a good point.
There's no way Love Shack is losing to this.
No, yeah, Love Shack was like 16th week
Yeah.
of release. Like, yeah.
Love Shack was crazy. People were going wild for that Love Shack.
All right, guys. Okay, that's it.
Oh, well, I really like that exercise.
Yeah, it puts me in the mindset. Now
So
Yeah.
yeah, now we're ready. Okay, guys, we will leave you, dear listeners. You won't even know we're gone. We'll come back,
Yeah.
having watched the episode. You should go do the same, and we'll be back and we'll break this bad boy down.
Can't wait.
Okay, we're back. So let's just jump right into it. I want to recap just kind of the big beats of the plots, because it was a twisty turny one.
It was.
it really was.
There was a lot of bland white guys to sift through that were
So many.
so okay. So the first 20 minutes of this episode was basically just furniture talk.
Yeah,
So-
which I'm fine with. Honestly, they were at the rummage sale for a large portion of the episode, and I could have stayed there.
There
I
was
liked
That's nice.
There was this nice wide shot at the beginning where you got to see a lot of the rummage sale. They took their time on it. There was no rush. There's a lot of bureau talk. But Jessica buys a bureau, and in it she finds a letter.
A dead letter.
A dead letter. You guys, I did it. I was right.
He was right.
Yeah.
And there's no anthrax in it, unfortunately.
A little too Homeland, I guess.
That would have been an abrupt end to the Murder, She Wrote series.
Well, the small town of
Or
Cabot
Jessica
Cove has
Fletcher,
been
yeah.
wiped out by anthrax. It'd be a weird end to the
Be very
series.
intense.
Ah, what's the smell we got here?
That was a great main accent. By the way, Matt.
Thank you. It's about as good as all the actors in that show.
It was, yeah. They set the bar very low. But she finds this dead letter addressed to Bud, who we met previously? Question mark.
He was acting a little rough with his wife in the beginning. Someone was talking to
Yeah,
her.
because he was arguing with another guy about a business that he sold.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so it wasn't about his wife. It was because there was some business dispute. And so it shows his angry side.
Which ends up going nowhere.
I was gonna say, was this the two guys in the fire helmets that were arguing?
Yeah, so
Yes.
with this whole scene too, another layer is that the fire department's buying a new fire engine. And so the mayor's super excited about this. He's going around the rummage sale with like a fireman's helmet.
The goofiest one.
And he's
Yes.
like wants to buy a fire
like a
engine.
toy fire truck.
Yeah, a toy fire truck. It's very embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. So that happens, and she finds this letter, delivers it to Bud,
Yes.
who menacingly says, "Oh, I know just what to do," or whatever he said. And then he ends up dead in a furniture shop.
He knew just what to do.
Yeah.
He knew just what to do. He wound up dead in a furniture shop that had been set on fire. Like, again,
We've all been there before.
the furniture shop burned down. His body, untouched.
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Otherwise untouched.
Yeah.
Not a singe to be found. Even though, as we learned, this place was drenched in benzene.
It was protected by pure rage.
He was so hot with rage that the
Yeah.
fire was like,
His domestic abuse vibes just radiated the flames
Yeah.
away from him.
I didn't even notice that he was untouched by flames.
he was
I just accepted it.
like, no, that makes sense.
He's
That
Bud
pans out.
Targaryen.
Yeah, exactly. So the father of dragons is found dead. And it was just like half a chance. Like, up until literally the last 30 seconds of the episode, I was like, how does the murder fit into it at all?
Yeah, it was very confusing.
I know, is this about his domestic abuse? Is it about the furniture? Is it about the
Yeah.
the volunteer fire squad, the love affair? There are a lot of directions, a lot of red herrings in this episode.
Yes. So we find out that it was a bald man.
Yeah, because I don't
Who's
know
the
their
murder?
names.
A bald man. Stanley, maybe?
Stanley sounds right. That sounds
Yeah.
So Stanley the bald man. So it was the bald man who was embezzling from this furniture store, and they were about to get audited, and they would have found his embezzlement with the audit, so he had to
Light on fire.
He had to light it on fire because his fiancée was just one of those money-hungry bitches.
Those condos in New York.
who we never meet because she refuses to live in Cabot Cove because her taste is too fancy for Cabot Cove.
What's it called? High-tootin'?
Highfalutin?
High-tootin' something else, I think.
High-tootin' is something. What? I don't know, but it is something.
Oh, jeez. Well, highfalutin.
Yes. You pronounced every syllable of that. I love it.
Anyways, she's too fancy.
She's too fancy.
So
too fancy for this episode of television. Not seen at all except in picture frame.
And me and Gillian were kind of on the same page because until the very end, I thought that the picture was of the insurance adjuster.
Yeah.
It did look like her.
I thought it was her, and it was like, oh, that's the link. Is he's married to her, and this was a scam.
I thought that for a second too.
Yeah.
I was half right because I was wrong about that as well because I really thought that so we're also introduced to this fire inspector. No, she's from the insurance company.
Yeah.
So she inspects fires to see if arson was involved.
And she's very confident.
Yeah, she's very confident. She is really funny. Mm-hmm. Initially, then she kind of crosses a line at a certain point where she's just kind of mean. But anyway, she's investigating the fire, and she really does look like the woman in the frame.
She looked because we got like a nice close up of the picture. So I was like, it's like obviously this is important. It's like, and you did think it was like almost the same outfit she was wearing.
Yeah.
They made both of them wear red. Mm-hmm. They both she was a fiery redhead.
These tartan outfits.
Exactly. So it made it seem like, oh, they're the same person. So that's the connection. But it's like, oh no, this is just his fiancée that he's offhandedly mentioning. Mm-hmm. The frame will come into play. The woman not so much.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, we never revisit that. Insurance person. She never gets her comeuppance for being wrong.
That's true. Like, you would expect the sheriff to really shove it in her face, because he was...
I know some sexual tension between them.
Was
I wrong in that? I thought it was a little...
It was one of those things where, you see in every sitcom where they're shouting at each other, and then they just immediately start making out. That's where this was going.
Yeah, that's fair. I see that.
But she just disappeared, never to be seen again. I mean, she's so embarrassed. She flew the coop.
Flew the coop. Now she's living back in New York with those high-tootin' ways.
Yeah. I'll never get over that. But yeah, so I was wrong about that, but I was right about the murderer. And
you called it really early. I'm very impressed.
And I knew it. First of all, listeners, if you listen to All Things Cozy, check us out. We read a lot of cozy mysteries, which is it's a genre of mystery novel. Murder, She Wrote is a cozy mystery TV show.
100%.
So if you like Murder, She Wrote, you like the novels, that genre. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so in those, you often get that one crucial clue at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So the author can be like, I gave you everything you need. Mr. Police, I gave you all the clues. But
are you quoting the snowman right now?
So that's also the cozy mystery motto, and the takeaway for me was the special coat that the murderer was saying, because he restores furniture and I don't know how to restore. I'm trying to say whatever you do to coat it up, you seal it with your little
restoration.
His special formula, wherever he made a big deal about it, and I knew that had to. When they said there was a mysterious substance found on the couches in the furniture store that was set on fire, I knew it had to be that guy's special formula for coating.
It was the only thing I was like, okay, I knew that picture had something to do with it, because that's one of the giveaways of Murder, She Wrote, is we're going to do a real tight focus on this inanimate object for 5 seconds that there's no reason, until we get to the end and realize what it is for, there's no reason for us to have done that. So I was like, that's why I think I tricked myself. I was like, oh, it's just this woman.
Yeah.
And it's like, we got to look at it, but we didn't get to see that it's the exact same woman, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone's styled the same. Everyone has the same,
I love
general
Lois's
look.
clothes. I thought, especially her in the end scene, her little ensemble. I don't know. I loved her style. Those little dresses that she was wearing.
It
was cool.
It was Lois was the frizzy-haired blonde woman.
Yeah,
right?
she was the
Okay.
one who was trying to get Bud jealous by writing a letter about a romantic love interest who didn't exist.
Yeah, letter to no one.
That
Poor
was,
Lois.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, she was one of the saddest characters
Oh,
I've
yeah.
ever
Oh,
seen.
yes, extremely
like
bad.
she was depressing.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
She was like, I just wanted to make Bud jealous, so he'd give me just a good effing, and
Yeah.
very delicate way to put it. But it was like, but I'm just so stupid, and it just backfired, and it just made him mad, and it's like,
I know.
oh,
I don't know though.
Lois.
It really did work out for her because now all the firefighters are coming around, giving her a little
Yes.
visit.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, one later scene, so Jessica, comes to interview her, and we see one of the volunteer firefighters just descending the stairs, putting his shirt back
was
on,
really uncomfortable.
and buttoning his pants,
and buttoning his
Yeah.
pants and being like, "Oh, it's not what it seems, Jessica. A button came undone." It was so all this malarkey.
But Jessica didn't buy it.
No.
No one did. Like, yeah, she's having a good time. Like, even at the end of the
Yeah.
episode, she's like kissing this other dude on the cheek.
Yeah.
Like,
She's the town floozy.
I suppose.
she moved on real quick. I'm still not convinced she's not the murderer, frankly.
Everything's coming up Lois.
Yeah.
I mean, she framed poor Stanley, who seems like a dullard, so I just don't think he knew what was going on. I will say, for the record, the guy who plays Stanley, worst actor I think I've ever seen on an episode of Murder, She Wrote. He was so awful. It was distractingly awful.
Well, the way he just kind of copped to the murder, I know that's a common theme. Like, this is a common
Yeah.
theme in Cozy Mysteries.
Yeah,
it's
they're just
kind
like,
of
"Oh, you got
yeah,
me."
they give themselves so easy. It's like, if you actually held out for a little longer, you might be off scot-free. But with this person, he was just so blasé about it.
That's the
or...
thing.
Hangs his head in shame.
Yeah,
You
he's
caught
like,
me.
Yeah, I did
Oh, well.
it. Yeah.
He's like, so sorry for his apologizing to the guy whose story burnt down. He was so sad.
Who kind of accepts his
yeah,
apology in that
he was
moment,
like,
too.
He's like-
nodded.
He's like, no, I see it. And I like how the whole thing is like he's embezzling this money from this low-rent, tiny little furniture store.
Right.
This is how you're
Money in
funding
that.
these big New York dreams of your fiance.
You can't
is
pay
with
New York rent on a Cabot Cove furniture store, like by skimming a furniture
skimming.
Cabot
That's
Cove.
the
Yeah.
even if you were running it, I'd still be like, you still can't afford New York.
Right.
But you're just skimming a little off the top.
I know.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But at the end when he's telling, he's like, I was on the phone, and he's holding his hand up like he's on the phone. I was talking to him on the phone. It's like,
Oh my
he just
God.
acted everything. He was so... He's someone's cousin who wanted to be on TV. I just feel like he was really wretched.
He had a real look. You know what
He
I
was,
mean?
I mean, not a bad look.
he had long hair but no hair. You know
Like,
that look?
the bald on top, long hair.
Yeah.
It takes a very specific
Yeah.
dude
Yes,
to make it work.
It does.
It worked on him. I'm gonna say it. It worked on him.
It reminded me of the guy, and forgive me, I'm blanking. The guy in 30 Rock,
Oh.
the showrunner,
I
Pete.
know.
Pete.
Pete
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
He kind of looked like Pete to me.
He was like bearded Pete
Yeah, exactly.
for sure.
Because doesn't he have longer when they were doing flashbacks?
does.
Doesn't he have like just long?
Yeah.
Is he the one who wears the hat all the time? Or no, he's the other
No.
guy?
No, he's just bald all the time.
Oh, he's
That's
the one.
Judah Friedlander.
Yeah,
oh,
you
he-
think of that
Oh,
guy.
yeah. Okay, I know.
Yeah,
who
where's
you're
he
talking
now?
I just saw him. He was on an episode of Kimmy Schmidt.
about. Oh.
He played. It was actually really funny. He had just a cameo. Titus was hired to do some singing, and he went and did background on a bunch of conspiracy theory songs, like the Jews knew about the towers. Like he was singing. All you heard was Titus singing like that kind of conspiracy theory stuff, and Judah Friedlander was the one creating the album. It was very funny.
A career launched by Hugs. That Dave Matthews video. No?
No.
Anyway, look it up. He's in a Dave Matthews video. You know what? Now people are going to get the mistaken assumption that I'm a big DMB fan, but I'm not.
All things Dave Matthews Band with Matt.
That was just a crucial period where I was watching VH1 music videos every morning before school.
Okay, well, don't have to doth protest from that.
We weren't judging you, out loud at least. Let's see. I just wanted a couple quick notes here. We do have a death note on this episode. Rosemary DeCamp,
Oh.
her last role, she played Agnes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, who's that again?
She was the one that was fake painting.
Painting?
Yeah, painting a fisherman.
Yeah, she was fake painting a fisherman. She was the woman who worked at the post office and had recently retired. And
Just kept mail.
exactly, she's like, they wouldn't let me destroy it, so
I just kept it.
naturally I just kept it.
Also, under the pretense that I know it's illegal to tamper with mail, so I can't cut it up, but it's somehow legal just to steal it altogether.
Just to keep it in a drawer in your
Yeah.
home?
Well, yeah, that's definitely legal. The guy who was arrested for stashing mail in his home because he was just too lazy to deliver it. He just didn't feel like it. And he found piles and piles of mail.
I support this.
I guess
guy.
I
know.
Whoever
Already
this
won
guy
over.
is, I'm like, if he wants me to write a letter on his behalf or he has a Kickstarter, I'll
dead
support
letter.
it. Yeah, he has a dead letters Kickstarter. But a little bit about Rosemary DeCamp. She was on pretty much all of Glenn A. Larson's shows, who is the creator of Magnum P.I. She did Quincy, Buck Rogers, and our personal favorite on this podcast, BJ and the Bear. Are you guys familiar with BJ and the Bear?
No, I just nod along.
It is, I believe it was a sitcom from the 70s. In the 70s, there was a trucker craze that we are infinitely fascinated with. That CB radios, all this kind of stuff just took off. And
Yeah, that's
for
true,
like
yeah.
a period in time, like Smoking the Bandit came out, like all this, like that, what's that song? Convoy. It's a great song, but it's...
It feels good to know that truckers had their moment in the sun.
They really did before we realized, like, oh, they're kind of maybe all dirtbags.
Yeah.
Until Chris Hansen came along and was like, actually, they're probably all pedophiles.
Yeah.
Every time someone
Up
pulls
until then, they really had pulled the wool over our eyes.
they really had us going.
We were just like, toot the horn. Hi, tootin'.
But BJ and the Bear, BJ was a trucker, and he had, I think, a dog named Bear.
Oh, okay, it was an actual
Maybe
bear.
it was a literal bear. I don't know. But it could only have existed in the late 70s. Let's see.
She was in Yankee Doodle Dandy, I saw. Which I feel like, that's a pretty famous musical, yeah?
From way back, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Her TV work is what I focus on. It's like, ooh, she was in Quincy. That's worth noting. George Firth, who played Fred, is our highest caliber actor. He had roles in Butch Cassidy, Blazing Saddles, and Cannonball Run. Let's see. That's about this. That's about it. This is no one's super famous episode, although the guy from Office Space who invented the jump to conclusions mat, he was at the poker table.
Oh, really?
Did you catch that?
No.
Like a young... Yeah. So it's like, he was one of our many bland white guy faces.
Well, one
Yeah,
of
somehow
Glenn,
just got lost in the sea of bland white guy faces.
one of
I
the
mean-
Glenn white guy faces, I guess the one who was accused of possibly murdering the guy, the firefighter who was Lois's love interest,
hmm
he kind of looked like Casey Affleck.
I can see that. I can totally see
So I was
that.
like, oh yeah, I know him, Casey Affleck. But no, definitely wasn't him.
Let's see. What else? What else in this episode? It was very confusing. That's why I feel like I'm not able to like...
So confusing. Like,
Really?
They did a good job of kind of... I was riveted, honestly. You know what? I don't see enough Murder, She Wrote episodes set in Cabot Cove, so it was a delight for me to just like live in that and really get a quality episode with the sheriff and Dr. Seth and or Doc Hazlitt. Sorry, Dr. Seth sounds like it's like a new like.
He's like the new Dr. Drew.
Exactly. He has a show on CBS.
it was just really cozy. I mean, I just wanted to hug Jessica. She just gives out that vibe.
Oh my god! Well, we haven't
spend
talked
time
about
with
we
her.
haven't talked about the ending where she ends up getting hosed.
That was absolutely fantastic.
And the still it ended on was just
I mean,
perfection.
that is classic. This episode was, in a weird way, like very broad because you had
So many plots.
the fiery redhead insurance lady and Sheriff Mazik, who were like almost in a different episode. Like they were putting on a comedy routine.
Yeah.
Like everybody else was like trying to solve a murder, and they were like a comedy duo, like yucking it up, like
Yes.
just the insults back and forth.
Right.
And, like, I feel like we were, like, this close to getting a slide whistle after she left a zinger, and it was like, whoa, and he just did, like, a go.
If only.
So it's like, yeah, it was a weird tonal thing. I mean, I liked it. I like whenever they inject comedy into these episodes, but it was they were the only two that were doing it, so it was
Yeah,
weird.
it's kind of
Well,
weird.
she really won me over when she storms into his office and she just completely describes every way that he's ruined the investigation and how don't worry, she's gonna fix it, and just completely demeans him, and it was beautiful.
Yep.
But then later she kind of lost me because at a certain point she just starts to like insult everybody in the entire town.
She doesn't-
and it kind of crosses the line to like, okay, don't touch Jessica. This is just too much.
Exactly, like when she, like her first thing to Jessica is like, I'm not intimidated by you, just so you know.
Yeah, and
Like-
she picked lint off her sweater. Very, very condescending.
Yeah.
That was like her move. She did that to Sheriff Mays. She was like, touch.
Oh, I
touch
didn't even
people.
notice
I
that.
feel like, it was like a dominance play. She's like, I'm just going to let you know that I
So
can
many
kind of
layers to
touch
that
it.
character.
She was
Yeah.
deep. I
Yeah.
mean,
But once again, there to be seen.
maybe they were saving her for a spin-off because I watch her go town to town trying to solve arson. Which, by the way, we also learned in this episode, arsonists never kill.
They never kill.
They never kill.
Not one time has an arsonist killed. Not their MO.
Except in
Oh
this
my
very
God.
episode.
Except in this one. I mean, she was wrong on so many fronts. That's why she
But so
disappeared.
confident. She's basically
So
Trump.
confident.
She's
Yeah.
like the Trump arson investigator.
And she was just gaslighting people into being like, I guess she's right.
Yeah.
She sounds like she believes what she's saying, so she must be right.
Criminals never do crimes. It's just a fact.
Criminals do the one crime, but none of the other crimes. They
No.
just do the one. So if you do the one, you can't do the other ones.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Let's see. This episode, by the way, was recommended to us by Shelley Muller. And I just wanted to read her recommendation email real quick. This episode has a whole bunch of fuckery going on. We've got a total lack of feminism. We've got a letter that didn't go to its intended recipient, but then does, setting off a chain of craziness. We've got domestic violence. We got a gold-digging fiance. We've got Mayor Sam making an appearance with a hefty dose of Dr. Seth thrown in. Dr. Seth, she said. So I feel like we've got Mort, our favorite sheriff. We've got a murder victim who, much like Murder on the Bus, deserved it and totally should have been left to burn, and actually he was. So definitely do this episode. So
You know, I agree with that on all fronts.
Yeah,
Shelley?
absolutely.
That's a great
Yes.
summary.
That is an amazing summary.
great recommendation. This is one of the ones where the guy died and you're like, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
don't
cozy
care.
mysteries, though. Like, it's always somebody that you want to see dead. Not want to see dead, but you don't mind it. You know, and
Yeah.
it's a good riddance. We're all
Yeah.
better off without you.
Did you like, though, at the end, because we all hated Bud, obviously.
Right.
And we definitely didn't need to hear the name Frixie one more time. Mrs. Frixie? Mr. Frixie? Bud Frixie over here. It's like,
Yeah.
say Frixie one more time, I will go Elvis on the TV.
Oh, by the way, also the sheriff in his, like, noir, like, detective lines, like, they caught you playing patty cake back there. Like, what is going on with his dialogue? Is it always like that?
Yes, he's from New York, so I feel like they're trying to make him
Street guy.
like streetwise, like
And from
40s,
a world that doesn't exist.
1940s
Yeah.
streetwise, but streetwise nonetheless. I feel like it was kind of the vibe of this episode, though, because remember when we got Jessica talking to, was it to the sheriff through the mirror, or was it to Stanley?
To Stanley.
She was looking in the mirror at his reflection.
So natural. Yeah, they're just looking
So
at the reflection
natural.
and talking.
So natural.
All for the shot.
Let's see.
Oh, can I say about the accents? I'm not very familiar with. I haven't watched like a ton of it, but those accents didn't sound like New England. I know they're trying to even attempt it. Doesn't even sound like an attempt of a New England accent. It sounds very Thuda.
It sounds like they were like in an improv group making fun of a Maine accent, but not actually trying to do a Maine accent.
It doesn't even sound remotely like it. It just sounds theatrical.
It is like they're playing to the back row with those accents.
It's
like
so crazy.
I don't know. That might be
It's
how it actually
distracting.
sounds.
It does not.
I don't know.
No, I went to school in New England. I vacation in Maine. They don't talk like that.
Are you sure?
No, they do not.
Have you checked with Fritzky? What her name is?
Frixie?
Frisky?
It was
Frisky Fritzky.
maddening. At this point, it was so distracting. It was like, I don't know, that they were
was-
in like
Well,
theater school.
here's why I
going,
say that is because the guy that played the monster, what's his the main monster, the Frankenstein guy.
Eddie
Help me.
Munster?
Not Eddie, he's the kid. Herman. The guy who played Herman Munster is from Maine, and he's in Pet Cemetery, and he does a Maine accent in that, and it sounds like them. I think that's just a Maine accent. I know it
This is
sounds
the-
fake, but sometimes people just have weird accents.
Is it just like deep Maine, like when you go into the hills of West Virginia, like you have to travel deep to get to the core of
I
these
think
accents?
so. It's like that weird part of Rhode Island that everyone sounds like Frasier.
What?
I want to go there.
Or is it Rhode Island? It's Massachusetts, maybe. Well, you're from New England.
I'm not from New England. I'm from Long Island.
There's like a part of like, I think maybe it's near Boston, but there's like a group of people who like actually talks like Frasier Crane and that like mid-Atlantic
No,
sort of.
that's the thing that's so crazy to me, because Frasier sounds like those guys where it's like he's doing crazy theater, like he's, just like those dramatic theater people who like, I saw Shakespeare in the Park. Like it's that like dramatic ridiculousness. It doesn't even sound like an accent. It sounds weird.
It sounds like they almost like forgot how to talk and are learning again. But this episode was very heavy with it because not only did you have the mayor, and then you also have the deputy sheriff who does the same kind of bad accent. So you were really kind of piling on with the bad accents.
I think that bad accent might legitimately be their accent.
I think we should do a poll. It's your podcast, but I think you need to do a social media poll.
I'm going to defend the actors of Murder, She Wrote and say that's what people from Maine sound like.
We're gonna
not everybody, but like, you know, in the boonies.
Poll.
We're gonna set up a Google Voice number, have people from Maine call in.
Yes.
And we're gonna have
with
them
their ridiculous accents.
Repeat a line from this episode. It must include the word Frixie. That is the only requirement. And we'll figure this out.
Yeah, sorry I derailed the conversation.
No, but all I was gonna say was at the end, I do kind of like how they had us hating Bud, and we're like glad he's dead. But the reason he died is because he was trying to help.
I know.
He's still a volunteer firefighter, guys. There's a little bit of him.
He did get kind of redeemed at the end for that, but too little too late, I guess.
Yeah, no one seems to care about, Bud and the fact that he wasn't doing anything nefarious. He was just trying to, like you said, intervene, help out, but not...
He really just had anger issues.
Yeah, so we don't want to, condone that because he really was rough with Lois in that scene.
It was kind of like at the end, it's like, hey, we have a new fire chief, the guy that's banging Bud's old wife. Like, it's like...
It's like a very good point.
It's like he was on the volunteer firefighter squad. He died essentially fighting a fire in a roundabout way. But no mention of like, hey, remember Bud. It's just like... Hey, Ron's got a new job. It's no one cared about Bud.
New job, new lady love.
He was killed trying to do a good thing.
Yeah, actually, now that you think about it, she has a really strong fireman fetish. Every person that she hooks up with has fought a fire.
Yeah, that's weird.
Looks like her hair's been in a fire.
Her
very flammable.
Her pale pink lipstick was
that rat's nest.
Horrific.
She made some choices, or whoever did the hair and makeup on her.
Lots of choices.
They made some choices, and not a lot of good ones.
No.
I don't think she had eyebrows. I was looking. I don't think she had them.
That's part of her whole attraction to fire, is it all got burned off.
It's
part of her character work.
That's a wig. That's a wig. It's not even real. Yeah, she's hairless from head to toe.
She looks like the doll from Rugrats that Angelica has. Cynthia. She looks like a Cynthia doll.
If you rip that wig off, that's exactly what she looks like. All right, guys. Any closing thoughts on this wonderful episode?
I love the still at the end. I just want to reiterate that when she's hosed down
looking
and she's
like
crazy
a wet cat.
face. Yeah.
And again, the whole reason that happened is because the entirety of the volunteer firefighter squad doesn't know how a hose works. That was
such comedy.
That's Cabico for you.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I love this episode. I thought it was super cozy, and it just had all the elements that I was looking for in a Murder, She Wrote episode.
Yeah, I agree. This was a very good one. Shelley, again, you did good.
Yeah, thank you. And
great choice.
Lovely summary.
Yeah, that summary is.
We should have just
perfect.
Yeah, we should have just read that. I don't know why we're even here.
Saved you a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm looking around for a pen, but now we're going to move on to the games because when we have guests, you guys, we like to play games. They're going to win a little money for charity. You guys, they're going to play against each other because we like a little competition.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many charities we're going to support today. That's why.
And I'm really worried.
Why are you worried?
Because I was born in '89. I don't know.
No, that's the thing. Like,
I'm scared.
Yeah, I have a huge advantage over you. Like being.
I
know. Being 3. I was really aware of what was happening.
Hopefully, we'll see. But it's $5 for each correct answer. There are 2 sections, 10 questions each. So for each answer you guys get right, you'll win $5 for your charity. Let me get a pen, and you guys, while I'm getting a pen, tell us what charities you're going to play for.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my chosen charity is 826 LA. They have organizations all over the United States, but it focuses on tutoring middle schoolers and high schoolers in reading and writing, and they do a great job of helping the youth apply to college, and it's just a wonderful charity I volunteer at sometimes, so thought I'd choose that.
Well, I'm going to support a charity from my hometown, Chicago. The charity is called Pause Chicago, and they are a large organization that supports no-kill shelters, and they support spaying and neutering your pets, and they facilitate adoptions, and they're all around a great organization for pets. And I remember reading a statistic that because of Pause Chicago, they've reduced like 80% of the animals killed in shelters.
Whoa.
Oh wow, that's a big number.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a
Doing a lot of great work in Chicago
That's
too. Get good pets. Get good pets, good homes.
their tagline for
All right, guys. So this first section, the first game is called Trivia He Wrote. It's just going to be trivia questions from the year 1989, the year this episode came out. So hopefully you've watched old movies or something. I don't know.
And we just shout it out.
Most of these are multiple choice, so I will give you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I will give you the answers, and then. Yeah, I guess how do you want to do it? How about we just once I read all the selections, first one just shout out gets the answer first, and then the other person will have a chance to steal. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on board?
Yes.
Okay. All right, question number 1. This week's number 1 movie, Look Who's Talking, was the 4th biggest grossing movie of 1989. The top 3 in order of release were Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Batman, and Lethal Weapon 2. Arrange these 3 in order of money, least to most.
Can you say it again? The movies.
The movies were Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Batman, and Lethal Weapon 2.
Okay.
I'm
gonna least. Okay, so least would be Lethal Weapon 2.
Okay.
Second for me would be Batman, and then the first would be Indiana Jones.
No.
okay.
Jillian has a chance to
Okay,
steal.
so from least to most.
From least to most.
The Batman.
You sound like the Joker.
The Batman. It sounds like you might not be sure it's called Batman.
Okay. Indiana Jones and Lethal Weapon.
No.
God damn it.
Don't tell me Lethal Weapon made the most money.
No.
Okay.
Lethal Weapon.
That's what I guessed.
That's all I want to hear.
That's what I guessed.
Lethal Weapon made the least,
Oh.
followed by Indiana Jones.
Oh, I just
and
got those switched.
The top moneymaker was Batman.
Oh, I love Batman. It was a huge influence for me. I was 3 years old back then, so I was a huge fan. And yeah, I can't believe I just I should have gone with my gut.
I mean, I think I would have done exactly what you did, though. Like, how could Indiana Jones not be the biggest
I
movie?
just feel like at the end of the day, as much as I love Batman, I feel like Indiana Jones is loved by everybody.
Exactly. I would have thought the same thing. Okay, guys. Rocky Start. Come on.
Yeah.
So we got that one
That
out
was
of the
extremely rocky.
We got that out of our system, and now we're going to go. Let's see. Question number 2. A Sony Walkman cost $79 in 1989.
Oh, Jesus.
Adjusted for inflation, how much is that in today's dollars? And I'll give you 3 choices.
Okay.
$112, $147, or $165.
I'm guessing
Jillian?
165.
That is correct.
Oh my god.
Beep, 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 beep.
Jillian can adjust for inflation. Those high tootin' numbers.
I do numbers.
Okay, that's the only math one, I promise. Okay, now question number 3. This year saw the first in a long series of commercials from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America that coined the phrase, "This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs." Your brain was symbolized by an egg. What symbolized drugs? And you get 3 choices.
The frying pan.
Correct.
I love that commercial.
Yeah, apparently you're a big
I watch a
fan.
lot of Saturday morning cartoons. Sorry.
I mean, even at 3 years old, you saw that commercial 1,000. I feel like it ran through the 90s. That it was everywhere. Okay, question number 4. All tied up. In 1989 marked the formation of the Insane Clown Posse.
Oh no.
As if I have to tell you guys. What beverage company that started in Detroit just like ICP are their fans known for spraying on each other during ICP shows? I'll give you 3 options. Fanta, Faygo, or Fruit Punch. Jillian?
Fruit punch?
No.
Damn.
Fanta?
No. It is Faygo. It's a Jewish-run business started in Detroit, and they bring literally 2-liter bottles of it, and like a champagne and spray like everybody is drenched by the end of
Wow,
the show.
it was sounds so strange that I was like, oh, no, it's a fake out. It couldn't be that. But no,
Fago.
Never heard of that
I've
before.
never heard of Fago.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Past guest on the show, Mike Schmitz, the 40-year-old boy, is his podcast. He tells one of my favorite stories of all time. He was a security guard at the Blues House of Blues on Sunset before it closed down, and ICP came through there, and he was a security guard on the night of one of their shows, and just it is the most insane story of like just getting drenched with Fago and all stuff. And I have my relatives, like my horrible relatives, I have so many ICP fans. Like I feel like I thought
So that one
ICP was
is close
bigger.
to home.
Yeah,
That's why when I saw that I was like, everybody knows who ICP is, right? I'm like,
I know who they are.
you just don't know
Don't
the
know
ins and
about
outs
their-
of.
I don't know.
Champagne
I
soda.
don't know how to interact with their concerts.
You're not a juggalo.
Now you
What
know.
I'm saying is I'm not a juggalo.
Okay. We learned something about Matt tonight. Not a juggalo.
I dress like one, but I'm
You
not
wouldn't
one.
be a
I was
juggalo.
not going to mention the face paint, but I'm glad you said so.
Yeah, my shorts are like fully Kevin Smith length, go all the way down to my ankles.
Oh,
Okay.
thanks, Pete. I feel bad. Do you want to share?
No, so we're pouring wine here. We're over here.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Question number 5. All tied up. Which of these classic sitcoms did not debut in 1989? I'll give you 4 choices. The Golden Girls, Seinfeld, The Simpsons, or Saved by the Bell?
Did not.
Did not. Gillian?
Saved by the Bell.
No.
Okay, so I know The Simpsons did. Any other choices are Seinfeld and...
And The Golden Girls.
Oh, maybe the Seinfeld.
I'm gonna say Seinfeld was later.
No, Seinfeld was 89, Simpsons was 89, Golden Girls was 1985.
Oh,
Crap.
I don't know what it was.
That seems
I
obvious
couldn't
now.
go earlier for some reason. Yeah, that our bad.
Yeah.
All right. Which of these celebrities was not born in 1989?
Okay, I feel like we're better at this.
4 options. Taylor Swift, Margot Robbie, Daniel Radcliffe, Dakota Johnson.
Taylor Swift.
No.
She was born in 88, wasn't she?
No.
She had an album called 1989. Gillian. It was like her biggest album.
No, but I thought that was just... That was...
Gillian, get out.
That's literally how I found this list was 12 awesome celebrities that were also born in
It was
1989.
Margot Robbie.
Okay, so you already got your shot. I need to hear the other choices.
The other choices were Margot Robbie,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Radcliffe, Dakota Johnson.
I'm gonna say Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie is correct.
After Taylor.
Okay. Matt's pulled ahead. Don't worry. You can still
I
you
can
can still
no,
you can
I'm
still
gonna
do
get
this.
it back.
Okay. Which of these celebrities did not pass away in 1989?
Did not pass away.
Did not pass
okay,
away.
so they're still with us.
Lucille Ball.
Okay, they're not, but they were
They-
dead then.
in 1989, one of these people was still with us. Lucille Ball, Audrey Hepburn, Betty Davis, Gilda Radner,
Who didn't pass it?
who did not pass away.
Wait, who'd you say before Gilda Radner?
Betty Davis.
And Lucille Ball, and then who's the second one again?
Audrey Hepburn.
Aubrey Hepburn lived longer, I thought.
Official answer?
I think Aubrey Hepburn, yeah.
Aubrey Hepburn is correct.
Yeah. When did she die?
1993.
I knew it.
I thought she died earlier. So.
All right. Question number 7, 8,
How many
maybe?
questions are there, 20?
There's 10 on this one, and then we have another game that also has 10.
Can't wait.
So the next one will hopefully it'll be a little kinder. Like I don't anyway.
I'm so far ahead I've lost count.
We'll go back and recap. Yeah, it's a big number. We don't want to get into it. Okay. McDonald's launched an ill-fated attempt to add which new item to its menu? 3 choices. Hot dogs, pizza, or donuts?
Donuts?
No.
Hot dogs.
No.
I'm just guessing.
We keep doing that.
McDonald's,
Both wrong.
McDonald's pizza, the tagline for which, pizza, you won't believe it.
Oh,
no wonder it
no. Oh, no.
Okay. 2 questions left. Matt has a 2-point lead. In the film Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, what is the name of the rock band comprised of Ted Theodore Logan, and Bill S. Preston, Esquire. I'll give you 4 options. Sex Bob-omb, Drive Shaft, Wild Stallions, or the Modal Nodes.
And this is what?
The band from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure that was comprised of Ted Theodore Logan and Bill S. Preston, Esquire.
I have no idea, but I'll guess the modal nodes.
I'm
No.
gonna say Wild Stallions.
Wild Stallions. Sex Bob-omb is the fake band from Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Drive Shaft is Charlie's band from Lost. And the Modal Nodes are the Cantina band from Star Wars.
Really? I didn't know they had a name.
It's something in the Modal Nodes. Yeah.
Is this pre special edition name or?
Probably not.
Okay.
I feel like it seems
Do they
very
really
special.
have a name?
Who would bother giving them a name?
Yeah, I feel like Wild Stallions seemed right for Bill and Ted. I feel like they would not. The other ones are too imaginative.
How dare you insult Bill and Ted like that?
I'm saying in universe, Bill and Ted would have
universe,
picked that
that's
name.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not insulting the movie. I'm just saying those characters would have picked that name.
And the film came out in 1989, which is why. Okay. Final question in the trivia round. On the greatest sitcom of all time, Seinfeld, what was the name of George Costanza's architect alter ego? I'll give you 4 options. Are you ready to go now? Are you okay? You're poised and ready to go.
You can say them.
Okay. Duke Silver, H.E. Pennypacker, Art Vandelay, or Burt Macklin?
Okay, now I really am going to be upset if I get this wrong, but I think that the name sounds very familiar. It popped into my head. I'm going to say... Oh, God. S06. Art
Vandelay is correct.
Okay.
You did it.
I was nervous, but
You were
just
hovering
popped
over the
right-
microphone. I knew you had it in you.
You got it. Okay. Duke Silver is Ron from Parks and Rec. It's his jazz playing alter ego. H.E. Pennypacker is Kramer's alter ego. And Burt Macklin is another Parks and Rec, is Andy's FBI.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
His FBI alter ego.
Well, everyone has an alter ego.
It's like a sitcom thing, and I kind of love it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted
We should all.
to put Anastasia Beaverhausen, but that one would have given it away. Let's see. So Gillian has 2 correct answers. Matt, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 to 4. Okay. This next game I don't have a name for yet, but basically I'm going to give you a title.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to tell me if that was an episode title of Murder, She Wrote or a candle scent.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm going to read 2 descriptions. I'm going to read
cozy.
I'm going to read a episode description and a candle description, either from IMDb or from the Candle website. And you're going to tell me which one it is.
This is already the best game I've ever played in my life, and I haven't.
Oh, yes,
Okay,
it's right up his alley.
I hope it lives up. Okay, guys. The title, Morning Among the Wisterias. Is this an episode of Murder, She Wrote where Jessica is summoned to Savannah to help a friend with his play and receives an offer of marriage she didn't expect? Or does a candle with the description, experience Savannah at sunrise with the unmistakable scent of wisterias blooming in the morning light?
That's a candle. That's too
That's an
evocative.
episode.
That is an episode.
Oh, wow. Jillian's doing a little dance over there.
My little jig.
All right, she's mounting a comeback.
She is.
She's mounting a comeback. Okay. The next title, All Hallows Eve. Is this an episode described thusly? While trick-or-treating with her nephew, Jessica discovers a body and must unmask a killer on Halloween. Or a candle described as a hauntingly seductive mix of midnight jasmine and evening air. Jillian?
Candle?
It is a candle.
Yeah, I feel like the title would have been too on the nose for Murder, She Wrote.
We did just watch an episode called Dead Letter, so...
Well, okay, yeah, but that, that has like a little bit of like a murder element
that's
to
true,
it.
that's true.
All Hallows Eve is a little too direct.
Okay. The next title, Something Borrowed, Something Blue. Is this an episode in which Grady's wedding day arrives, and so does an unpleasant fate for the shrewish housekeeper of his prospective father-in-law's estate? Or is it a candle designed specifically for a bride on her wedding day? This subtle blend of blueberry scone and vanilla bean is borrowed directly from our founder's mother.
That's
tough.
so specific. I'm gonna say episode.
Episode is correct.
Because does someone get strangled? Is that why it's something blue?
I think it's just maybe. We haven't seen that episode yet. I believe it is on our list, though. We will end up watching.
That's my guess.
I mean, that makes sense. You know? Okay. Oh, I skipped one.
So where did you find that candle description?
I made that one up.
That is brilliant.
Wow.
You have a career.
I know.
Right.
And
Candle
you need to be writing copy for candles.
Yeah,
That
you
was
really
like,
do. Yeah,
I was
tricked.
convinced.
I was
That
going to say candle.
That was really good.
Because I basically just like went through the things. I was like, how do they describe these? Oh, okay. And I just kind
I
of...
thought you just copy and paste these descriptions.
I should have just found something that like had the word blue in it.
I'm blown away. This is
I
amazing.
really
I love
am.
this
Not
game.
only just the level of detail, but your copy is just
Okay.
stunt.
The next title is Sweetest Valentine. Is this an episode where a romantic row turns deadly, or a candle where you can savor this irresistible combination of sparkling cinnamon and luscious vanilla cupcake?
Gillian?
Episode?
No.
I was going to say candle.
It is a candle.
Oh.
All right. Next one, Reflections of the Mind. After receiving a mysterious phone call from a friend's supposedly dead husband, Jessica must unravel the truth among the hysteria to find a killer. Or a candle, described as, let the scent of applewood mixed with mahogany relax your soul while invigorating your mind. Gillian?
Episode?
It is an episode.
Yeah, mahogany and what else?
Applewood.
Is applewood even a thing?
I guess I didn't even think about that.
It didn't autocorrect it, so yes.
I don't know. Reflections of the Mind just seem like an episode title.
I feel like there's applewood smoked bacon. That's probably what I
Fair
was
enough.
thinking of. Okay, this next one. Christmas Welcome. While visiting relatives for the holidays, an old family friend goes missing, and the search turns up skeletons long thought dead. Or, a perfect recipe of juicy apples sprinkled with sugar and vanilla.
What was the title again?
Christmas Welcome.
Episode?
That's a candle.
That's a candle.
Oh.
Christmas. It's a great candle name.
I don't know. I guess I just always think of like candles as adjectives. So
This thing, yeah, was a little hard finding.
I think I need to get my brain out of that.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay.
knock that out.
Yeah. Get my hand in the game.
We got 4 to go. 4 to go. Plenty of time. The Grand Old Lady. Jessica narrates a story from 40 years ago when another female mystery writer helped to solve a mysterious murder aboard the Queen Mary. Or, from our Snapshots in History collection, this candle captures the smell of being seaside as you stare up at the Statue of Liberty and catch a hint of freshly minted copper.
Is it an episode?
It is an episode.
Although I do love a candle named Grand Old Lady. I want a Grand Old Lady scented candle.
What's the scent? Grand Old Lady.
Oh man.
I mean, I guess they would never name a candle Old Lady. That is- you don't move a lot of units of
Yeah,
Old
exactly.
Lady scented candle. That's fair. Okay.
Although it wouldn't turn me off. I feel like I would check it out.
You'd be curious enough that you'd pick it up.
I'd sniff that old lady.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. All right. This next one is called Ever After. Is an episode where an actress neighbor involves Jessica in her husband's murder, or a refreshing mix of watery leaf notes, warm amber, and crisp, brisk air, all perfectly suited for cozying up with your sweetheart.
What's the name again?
Ever After.
I'm gonna say episode title.
It is an episode title.
I just have to clarify. Have you written all these descriptions?
The wrong ones I have.
Okay, gotcha.
The wrong ones are all made up. The correct ones are.
But they're the best ones.
I know.
At least something is coming out of this game.
A new career. That's why.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
You're hired. This is your Marilyn Monroe moment. You've been discovered.
I'm going to get an email tomorrow. It's going to be so
I'll be
exciting.
Yankee Candle's gonna come knocking.
The penultimate title, Sleigh Bells Ring, is an episode in which a caroler is found dead on Christmas Eve and Jessica suspects foul play, or the brisk, exhilarating scent of frosty winter air, so real you can practically hear the bells ring.
Oh, that's a candle.
That is a candle.
You know your candles, P.
So do you. We did a good job together.
Yeah.
That was a team effort. And that was an amazing game. I have to say, like
I think there's one more question, right?
One more.
Oh, sorry. I'm wrapping it up already. I got too excited.
Last one is London Calling. Jessica is summoned to London by her cousin Emma to investigate her fiancé's murder, or a delightfully mild scent of tea and lemon.
Episode?
I would have said episode 2.
Really?
I actually own that candle.
Oh.
Wow.
By default, to give it to you. Understand.
I understand.
Okay, so let's tally up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Matt. 9 times 5 is 45. Gillian, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 5 is 30. Well done.
Thank
$30
you.
for charity, $45 for charity.
That's
For
so wonderful.
826 LA. Did I write that down right?
826 LA.
826 LA. Am I saying that?
Yes, you're saying
Okay.
right.
For some reason I thought I wasn't. And pause Chicago.
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
This
for...
was super fun. Thank you again so much for coming on.
Oh, it was a blast.
Tell the folks again, like, where to find you on the social media, all that kind of stuff.
Well, you can find us on Facebook at All Things Cozy Podcast, and then we have a Facebook group, and you request to join it, and then we're on Instagram. So I think it covers it. We're not on Twitter, so.
Yeah, and if you want to listen to the podcast, we are on Apple Podcasts. We're on a bunch of other places that clone the feed.
Yeah.
We're just Google us. You'll find us.
It's if you don't know how to find a podcast at this point, I don't know.
I can't help you.
What are you doing?
Yeah, we had a lovely timing from the charity to the, I don't know, great episode choice. It's
This was so much fun.
It really
Thank
was.
you for having
Thank
us.
you.
Yes, thank you guys. Let's see. On our end, we're only doing 70 episodes. This was episode 47, so the remaining episodes are on our social media now. Speaking of which, one of the best things that's going to happen when this podcast is over is I'm deleting Twitter. I hate Twitter so much.
Oh, really?
I can't wait to get off of it. It's going to be great.
Cathartic.
I'm there with you. That's great.
So let's see, guys. If you do have any thoughts, questions, concerns, queries, or regards, we're at Murder We Spoke on the loathed Twitter, on Instagram, and we're even on Snapchat. Marissa made us join Snapchat, so we're on there. Facebook, you can email us, murderspoke@gmail, lots of ways. Thanks, as always, to Devin, who did the Murder, She Wrote theme remixes that we use at the top and bottom of each episode. Thank you, Devin. Yeah, that's it, guys. Leave us a
Thank
good
you.
review, whatever. Do whatever. And until next time, do all the good you can, for all the people you can, in all the ways you can, for as long as ever you can. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.